All right. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Hey, thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it. It is a couple minutes past the top of the hour, and we'll go ahead and get started. I want to thank you for joining me today. I know you guys are busy, especially this time of year, although we kind of say that every time of year in this particular business, but it is legitimately true as we transition from the summer into the fall, and you transition the services that you're offering, and nobody understands that as much as I do, and so I'm very appreciative that you're able to take some time today during the day to join me. We're doing a webinar about the BeeSafe Lawns dealership opportunity. We're going to talk about a couple things. I'm going to try to keep it to 20 minutes or so, although I've been told on occasion that I can get a little wordy and can get a little bit longer than I plan on going. So if that happens, forgive me, but it likely will. We're going to talk about who the BeeSafe Network is, or what BeeSafe actually does. We'll talk about some of the members of the BeeSafe Network and how it could potentially be a good fit for your business. Then we'll talk about you and your business and things like how can you get more customers, how can you increase gross sales, how can you increase net profitability, and how bringing on something like BeeSafe can improve your image, that kind of deal too. As we get started here, I want to let you know that if you do have any questions, I'd like you to type them right into the control panel of the GoToMeeting, the question panel of the GoToMeeting control panel there. I won't necessarily stop for every question, but we will do a question and answer session at the end of this webinar. And sometimes it's helpful for when you type questions in as you think of them, that'll help me kind of address what you're thinking about over the course of the session today. On occasion, I will stop and answer them. If I don't, it's likely because I plan on covering that at some point in the webinar today. If everybody can hear me okay, I'm going to keep going on. If you can't hear me or there seems to be some sort of technical difficulty, go ahead and type something in there. And okay, so it sounds like everybody is on board. So let's rock and roll. Who is BeeSafe Lawns? That's basically what we're going to start with, BeeSafe Lawns. A good place to start is about who BeeSafe Lawns is to let you know that BeeSafe has gotten some national attention recently, and in recent years, especially this one particular article that showed up in Entrepreneur magazine where Entrepreneur named BeeSafe as one of its disruptors, and I thought that was pretty awesome because that's really what we are. The Entrepreneur magazine disruptor issue is all about companies that are kind of on the fringe but are beginning to have an impact in their respective businesses that may be disrupting things a little bit. People and companies that have thought ahead enough to be able to step outside the box or step outside the norm and do things a little bit differently, and they're being successful at it. So that was, I thought that was really cool when we were named as one of Entrepreneur's industry disruptors, because we work hard at doing a lot of things that we do, and to be recognized as someone in a company that's having some success was important to us. And that kind of segues into who exactly BeeSafe Lawns is. BeeSafe is a brand that operates under the parent company Natural Technologies Incorporated. And Natural Tech operates several different brands, including the BeeSafe brand. Firebelly Organics, a lot of you guys probably have heard of Firebelly. It is a do-it-yourself or a consumer brand, a retail brand, really, that we mostly sell online. We have a retail presence in the Northeast in a couple of places, but it's for consumers who want to treat their lawns organically to kind of do it in a thought-out step process. We also operate the Organic Lawn Care Institute. We'll talk about that a little bit more later on, but Natural Tech Inc. operates several brands, and BeeSafe is one of them. I also like to start by talking about a couple of our customers that we're really proud to have because we've worked hard to get them, and we work hard with them to keep them and to keep them happy. One of the ones that we spend a lot of time with is Harvard University. And if anybody has ever seen any of the literature or reports that about Harvard University, they, for the most part, almost invented the type of lawn care that we do now. Whereas it is organic lawn care, but it's not really traditional organic lawn care where we're applying granular natural fertilizers. Harvard University about 10 years ago started a program called the Harvard University Organic Landscaping Project where they kind of create a closed loop system in that they compost all of the waste on campus and they turn it into compost tea that is kind of specifically manufactured or made for their grounds. And they were really pioneers and groundbreakers in the type of organic lawn care that we do. And we're honored to be able to provide them with one of our products. It's our 702 fertilizer is used on the entire campus of Harvard University. Google it because you'll be able to get some good information about how we do things and what we base our products and systems on. We also take care of the Universal Studios down in Orlando, Florida. Or they decided to transition to complete organic on the entire campus or the entire theme park. And we work very closely with a gentleman named Wayne Prudhomme, who's in charge of all of the grounds. He uses an entire BeeSafe program down there in Orlando, where Harvard uses one particular product. If you go on vacation down to Universal Studios at all this year, check out the grass because hopefully it looks pretty good. I haven't been down there since 2 years ago, but they use BeeSafe from start to finish on the turf and the trees, and they're very happy. Hadlock Field is the home of the AA affiliate for the Boston Red Sox, and it is the only field in the country that is incorporating organic methods, and we work really hard on that field. That is an absolute challenge, but we've got it looking really good. That is a super high maintenance, really, probably our most challenging account, and it's working out good. One more is the city of Scarborough, Maine, and this is where I'll transition a little bit because I think that as you take a hard look at bringing on the BeeSafe brand into your business, municipal accounts are something that you're going to want to take a look at. In the city of Scarborough, Maine, about 5 years ago, an organization called Citizens for a Green Scarborough started making a stink about pesticides being applied to city property. And what that means is all of the schools, the city parks, practice fields, playing fields, football field, any municipally maintained turf area. And they were able to get the town or the city to pass an ordinance that would ban the use of those products. Some people agree with this type of thing. Some people disagree with it. No matter where you are, it doesn't hurt to be in the business of organic lawn care. Generally speaking, municipal turf is kind of going in that direction anyway. New York State, New Jersey, lots of other states and municipalities all have legislation in place not only for pesticides but for phosphorus, chemical nitrogen, and these things are beginning to see serious legislation that works in favor of organics. In Scarborough, they set out to hire somebody who was trained as an organic specialist, and our applicator up there, Go Green Landscaping, was able to get the account and maintain the account for, this is the third year, and it's an $85,000 gig for him, not to mention he's one of the most well-known contractors in the city. His residential base continues to grow, and his company is exploding, all because of that one particular account. So keep that in mind as we move on. I want to talk about the demographic a little bit, the type of customer that a BeeSafe applicator goes after, and whether you want to talk about those municipal accounts or bigger commercial accounts. For the most part, our main focus is residential accounts, and we don't necessarily want to focus specifically on the organic niche. BeeSafe applicators are lawn services. They are lawn services that happen to offer an organic program. We don't like our applicators to present themselves specifically as an organic lawn care service. So BeeSafe applicators are lawn services that specialize in organics, but they are not specifically organic lawn care services. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we roll on, because I know that probably flies in the face of logic a little bit. You're coming on a webinar to learn how to implement an organic lawn care strategy, and we're telling you not to really be an organic lawn care strategist, but I'll explain what I mean with that as we move on. Okay, currently we have 103 locations across the United States, which is pretty good. We've grown significantly in the last 3 or 4 years. we've identified an additional 225 markets or locations in the interest of placing a BeeSafe dealer there in the next 18 to 24 months. We're about to go on a significant growth mode. We've really kind of ground things out over the last 3 or 4 years to bring on our 103 locations, but our goals are lofty, and I feel that we'll probably come close to those goals in the next 2 years, 2 to 3 years. So if you're in an area where we don't currently have a BeeSafe location, I think it makes sense for you to take a look at the opportunity. Our plan is to have the BeeSafe brand be in all 50 states over the course of those next 2 years, and we'd like to compete with the big names in lawn care. True Green, Scott, Spring Green, Weedman, Lawn Doctor, and a couple of the other ones. Our plan is to be known as the alternative to those very large corporate lawn care brands. And as you know, those very large corporate lawn care brands are struggling significantly for many reasons that we won't go into in much depth now, but you know exactly what I mean. Most of it revolves around quality and for various reasons. So if we're able to execute that particular strategy with 325 locations across the United States, BeeSafe will be among the most recognized names in professional lawn care. So we're getting there now, but we're really trying to put the hammer down and amplify our growth in the next couple of years. And if we're able to kind of exercise that strategy, we will be very well known nationwide. And with every additional location we add an additional influencer in that particular strategy. So, okay, next, let's talk about you. Let's talk about you for a minute. And I'm pretty much on time, so not too bad. If you're going to join the BeeSafe Network, you're not doing it for us, you're going to do it for you. And one of the main purposes that we like to get out front right away is that we'd like you to join the BeeSafe Network really to increase your sales and your profitability, your image, and we don't want you to join the BeeSafe Network because you want to save the planet or you want to save the children or save the world. Now, obviously, it's really cool to do good by doing well or do well by doing good, and we feel very strongly that the professional lawn care industry is in desperate need of a change, that many of the products that the professional chemical lawn care industry uses are way overused and used incorrectly. But it's important that you take a look at joining the BeeSafe Network to have your business succeed, not to have the world be a nicer place. And I guess that probably comes off a little bit crass, but it's important. The only way you're going to be able to succeed in helping to save the earth and save the planet and save the children is if you save your business first. So we wrote a case study recently called "It's All About the Money, Stupid." And I think it's probably been emailed to most of you guys. If you haven't managed to read that, Dick tells me it's a little bit wordy sometimes. And again, that's probably true, but it's pretty thick with good information, and it talks about how you can grow your business by doing something like this. And we'll talk a little bit about that now as we continue to move on a little bit. How do you make more money and not do more work? Pretty good prospect, pretty good question to ask yourself. There's three things to bring up here. One, you can become profitable through volume. What that means is do a real lot of lawns at a lower margin. At Lawn Dog, when I owned Lawn Dog back in the olden days, actually it wasn't that long ago, but we had 25,000 customers that our margin was not huge on. It was pretty small, but we were very, very profitable. We did that through volume. We had trucks going out treating 35, 40 lawns a day, every day, all year long. We had a route up in Portland, Maine, where one guy could handle almost 800 customers all by himself. He'd park the truck and treat 10 lawns in the same neighborhood, and then get back in the truck and drive to another neighborhood, park it, and treat 9 lawns. Profitability through volume is one way to grow your business. Profitability through margin is another way to grow your business. I'm guessing that of the 26 people who are on the line right now, most of you probably focus on profitability through margin. you're probably saying, well, I don't lowball things. I don't do cheap work. I'm not a bottom feeder. I do high quality work, and I get a premium for it. That's a tricky and slippery slope, especially right in the maintenance business, because there's so many, pickup truck and a dream guys out there who's going to lowball the heck out of you for lawn mowing and maintenance and cleanups and that kind of deal. So in that case, a lot of times we depend on another core service, construction or installations and things like that. And that's where we get nervous, because one year we do a lot of construction, the next year we might do a little less construction. It's not always predictable. One awesome thing about lawn care and lawn fertilization, whether you're a bottom feeder or you're the most expensive game in town, it's very, very predictable. You're going to be able to kind of turn your business into a math equation. You know exactly how many prepays you're going to get in a year. You know exactly how many upsells you're going to make in a year. It all follows a very easy formula, easy mathematical formula. So profitability through volume, profitability through margin. Is it possible to have both? That's the big question, but that's what we strive for. So with that in mind, we always encourage BeeSafe applicators to bail out on the niche. That's what I was talking about before. It's imperative that you offer both a traditional and an organic program. Those two programs can kind of blend together. Your traditional program should employ some organics, and your organic program should employ some traditional practices too. But you don't want to simply offer an organic program, and this is what I meant by bail out on the niche. So while the niche is growing, it's not going to support you. So here we are as an organic lawn care brand telling you not to depend on the organic lawn care demand. I'd be crazy if I told you that the demand was there enough for you to depend on it to grow a business. Now, it does exist for municipalities. It does exist for private schools. That niche is there, okay? So, if you're looking at this, you're probably going to want to blend that in as much as you can. I just was talking to an account we've been working on and haven't got yet, but been working on for a while. It's a private school up in northern New Hampshire, boarding school. I think tuition's $50,000 a year, and they've got, 1,000 kids there. There's no shortage of funding in these particular schools, and they want the campuses to be pristine. They really need them to look good. So that niche is there. They like to exploit the fact that there's always a sustainability coordinator working to tell the world how awesome they are with their resources. So. But the niche in terms of residential lawn care does not exist enough. You need to offer both programs. You need to drive that volume. You need to be able to offer a premium service, but also an alternative to the norm. You need to market to the masses, not just the niche. See that hippie there? That hippie makes a lot of noise and bangs the drum about how pesticides are terrible, but 99% of consumers who hire a lawn care service aren't necessarily concerned with that hippie's message. So make sure you market to the masses. And what happens when you market to the masses, you market yourself as a lawn care service, not necessarily an organic lawn care service. Something really cool happens, and we've watched this happen over the last couple of years. So you get an estimate. Say it's a referral estimate. A current customer has their brother give you a call because they know that you are a lawn care provider. They don't think of you simply as an organic lawn care provider. They think of you as a lawn care provider. So even though they don't necessarily request one specific type of program, what you're going to do is give them an estimate for both programs. And these numbers are picked, completely right out of thin air. Your standard program might be $69 per application. Your organic program might be $82 per application. And even though the customer didn't request that organic program, as long as you're supporting collateral and your brochures and your sales work and the way in which you sell the program is kind of dialed in, almost more than half the time that customer is going to say, yeah, okay, I'll do the organic program. My wife will like that. Yeah, I'll do the organic program. That only makes sense. Yeah, I'll do the organic program. It's not that much more. We're talking, in this case, a little more than $10 per application more over the course of the year. We're talking $75 a year. That's not a lot of money. Now, I know that it's cutthroat out there. I know that True Green is going to lowball you, and I know that the bigger companies are going to, kind of chew this apart a little bit. No matter what you charge, they're always going to charge less. And how you fight that battle is up to you. A lot of times People say, I'm not going to do that. That's not my thing. Well, I think you should at least participate a little bit in it, because when you don't participate in it, it's sort of a cop-out. You want to grow your business, and sometimes you need to bend a little bit. But what we found is that more than half the time that customer is going to choose the organic program, not because they went out looking for it, but because you happen to offer it to them. It's not a lot of money more, and as long as you can provide similar results to the standard program, and they trust you, they're going to spend more money with your company. So in addition to talking about new business, right, now do the math on a scenario when you're talking about your existing business, and this is what that case study was all about. If you're able to do a price increase of 25% on half of your existing customers, and don't get me wrong, I don't mean this is going to happen in 1 year, but what we did in that case study is we took a 5-year period where you consistently offer the upsell or the better program, the more expensive program, the organic program to your existing customers. Over the course of a 5-year period, as many as half of your existing customers are going to change over to that program and be willing to spend more on what they were spending currently, right? So do the math on a scenario where you're able to do a price increase of 25% on 50% of your existing customers. That's a huge spike. And the only expense that increases with those customers is product cost. You're not buying more trucks. You're not putting more people in the office. You're not buying fancy equipment. The only thing that increases is the cost of product. So one line item in your entire budget grows, and your product costs are only going to increase by 15 to 20%, depending on where you are and what kind of program you're offering. So this is what we're talking about by both types of profitability. We're driving profitability through volume, and we're driving profitability through margin. It's a perfect world. If we lived in a perfect world, we wouldn't be all hanging out on webinars in the middle of the day trying to figure out how to make it work. So it's not a perfect world, but we've got a pretty good track record of helping you helping you be able to pull that off. Take a break and look at my clock. I'm getting long here. What do you get when you join the network? What we'd like to do is talk to you about becoming a BeeSafe applicator. It looks and feels a lot like a franchise. It is not a franchise at all. There are no recurring fees. There are no hidden costs, nothing like that. But we like to use our branding. Here's what you get. You get access to our proprietary products. That's what we call the BeeSafe Organic Program. That's what our business model is based on, guys. So, yeah, we want to help you grow your business, but we have a business too, and that revolves around you purchasing products from us. So the BeeSafe line of proprietary products are only available to BeeSafe applicators. We do not sell these products at Let's Go. We do not sell them through distributors. We only sell them to the existing members of the network. The majority of our applicators purchase a protected territory, meaning that there can be no other BeeSafe applicators in that area. Guys love that. That's a very important part of the program to many of our existing applicators, and I think it's probably important to you. We're a little bit choosy with who we allow to purchase a protected territory, and we don't make it a requirement. If your territory or the area in which you work is available, you don't necessarily have to buy it or protect it. We've got a situation where you can kind of call it BeeSafe Light. We'll talk about that in a minute. You get access to specific marketing materials. We help you with brochures and sales collateral, that kind of deal. The branding is huge. We really feel that the brand is growing. If you do buy the protected territory, we'll put together a website for you. And you get to come to training at the Organic Lawn Care Institute, which is a 3-day program for new BeeSafe applicators. Here's a couple of examples of what lots of our existing applicators have done with the brand and marketing materials. You see a postcard there, a brochure, some estimate forms, the Panther Hollow watershed safety, safe and healthy program up in New York by Perfalon. You see our brand on that. Another picture I don't have here is the Little League World Series park, where one of our applicators does. There's some BeeSafe branding on that. So you want to exploit the brand as much as you can. We've got companies do truck wraps. We had a company in Delaware put up a bunch of billboards, postcards, brochures, websites, flyers, door hangers, trade shows, all that kind of cool stuff. You want to build that brand, and we want to help you build that brand in your exclusive territory. That's important. So when you come to, when you join the BeeSafe Network, you come and spend a couple of days. You don't have to, but lots of our new applicators come and we train you on how we do this organic lawn care program. It's a little bit more involved than natural fertilizers. And we've been so successful with this particular facet of our business, we've actually taken it to the next level. And the Organic Lawn Care Institute is licensed by the state of New Hampshire and the Department of Education and Higher Education Commission as a career school. It's a post-secondary vocational school. It's a legitimate institution of higher learning, which for lawn guys like us, we think is kind of cool. It's approved by the state of New Hampshire Department of Education, and that we think that's pretty awesome. So I didn't talk about the products. If I were to talk about the products, I could get even more long-winded than I am right now because the products are complicated. From our standpoint, that's why we simplify it for you. If you wanted to go out and try to put together a program like this, you'd probably be overwhelmed pretty quickly. We purposely didn't spend any time on products today because it would take too long. The way it works is we'll design a program specifically for you in your market, and it's going to be different if you're in Cleveland, Ohio, than it's going to be if you're in Orlando, Florida. So we take all of our products. We've got 23 different products. We put them in order. We build a program specifically for you, and you don't have to worry about trying to make it work. So a lot of times people will say, hey, how do I know that stuff is going to work? Well, I'm telling you, with more than 100 locations, having used the BeeSafe products and programs for 4 years now, they work, and we're really confident in saying that. So what we can do is talk about the products and programs offline or on another call. We can have a tech call anytime. But I want to tell you they revolve around 5 core principles: soil biology, biostimulation to prevent stress, organic sources of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, or not phosphorus if you're in a phosphorus-free state. The use of organically acceptable control products. Notice I didn't say certified organic all the time, but organically acceptable control products. Things, weed controls, crabgrass preventatives. And then the 5th principle is information and education. So we put a ton of work into making sure that your program works really well. One thing that we're launching this year is a consumer branding and awareness campaign. We know that we can help you be successful by having the general public be much more aware of the BeeSafe brand, and we're gaining some serious momentum with that in the last couple of years, and we want to capitalize on it. The MyBeeSafeLawn.com brand building campaign revolves around a couple of different core principles: brand position, brand promise, brand personality, brand story, and brand associations. I won't go into that too much because I'm getting long-winded, but it's our own internal campaign to help consumers know you exist, to help consumers know that you are a company that offers the BeeSafe organic lawn care program, and they want to kind of gravitate towards you and your business through social media, search engine optimization, remarketing, PR, list building, lead nurturing, et cetera. We're going to put a lot of emphasis on helping you develop new business this year. And I'm pretty excited about that because brand building is something that we've been looking at for a long time, and this year we're going to make an investment to make it happen. How do you join the network? Well, there's a couple of different packages that you can get involved with. If you want to protect the territory, if you want to take an area where you don't want any other companies taking advantage of that brand building campaign, the fee is $14,900, and you can protect up to 125,000 households with that. Sometimes it's a little bit more, sometimes it's a little bit less, but it's valuable and it's worth it. If your area is still available, you can get in on that right away. Package 2, if your area is still available and not protected already, is much less. It's a $4,900 fee, but you do not automatically get to protect that particular area. A lot of companies will take this approach because they don't want to make that initial commitment to getting into the network, but we'll give you first right of refusal for that particular territory when you get involved. So if you join the network, we define your territory, you're working in there, and then somebody else comes along and says, hey, I want to protect that territory, we're going to go to you and talk to you about it, give you the opportunity to protect it, as long as you qualify. That's important. As long as you qualify to protect that area, we're a little bit selective and careful with who we'll allow to protect those big areas. So lots of stuff. The BeeSafe Organic Program, Protected Territory, marketing materials, branding, the Organic Lawn Care Institute. Lots of stuff goes along with it. What's the next steps to move along in this process? Well, we're going to set you up with some information on what we call our due diligence site. It's a resource site that's password protected, has all of our products, has lots of case studies, information, lots of stuff on there that you're probably going to want to take a look at. If you're considering making an investment in your business for next year, you're going to want to take a look at some of our supporting materials, references, the pricing of the products, some of the marketing materials, training stuff, lots of stuff, too much stuff actually. It's grown to be a little bit too much stuff. Then if you want to take the next step from there, what we'll do is we'll put together a proposal for you. We'll develop what your area is, what your protected territory is going to be. Dick Conley is really good at that. He is the Director of Dealer Development, and you'll see him here. That's his contact information. So that's our next step, the due diligence site, putting together a proposal for you, and a tech call too, agronomic stuff. We just flew over that, and I'd love to talk to you guys about the products and how the whole system works. All right, deep breath. I went long. It's 1:30. It's past 1:30, so I went longer than I should have. I have about a dozen questions typed in here, so I'd like you to, at this point, type any questions that you've got into the console there, and I will answer them. If you need to bail out on the webinar now because I've gone longer than I said I was going to go, that is okay. If you need to log off and go get some work done, I totally get that. If you want to hang around and listen to me answer some of these questions, that's cool too. If you do have questions, type them in. I can see you guys typing them in right now. So one of the, I'm going to knock off about 10 of these questions right off the top because lots of people ask about weed control, and probably not 10, but as I scroll through them, I see a couple. How do we kill weeds in an organic program? How do we take care of crabgrass? For every issue that you've got in your lawn care life, and we all have issues, some worse than others. We all have lawn care issues, but we've got dandelions, we've got crabgrass, and staying around here in the summer when sometimes people call and say, man, I got weeds. What am I going to do? We say, well, God makes weeds. And your customers wouldn't hire you if there were no such things as weeds. So as frustrating as it can be, weeds don't magically disappear. And weeds will always be one of your customers' #1 concerns. They want their weeds gone. So, you've heard over the years, oh, the best thing to do to get rid of weeds is to improve the soil and to have thick turf, and, the weeds will go away. No, you need to spray your weeds, and you need to prevent your weeds. So there's a tool in your toolbox for every issue that you're going to have. So one of the post-emergent weed controls that we use is a product called Fiesta. Fiesta is a chelated iron broadleaf post-emergent weed control. It is not a product that we make, but it's a product that we distribute. And I should mention, we don't manufacture control products. We manufacture the soil inoculants, fertilizers. We have our own line of products, but we're not in the business of manufacturing control products. So we distribute for other companies that do. And Fiesta is one of those really, really cool products that has done very well over the years. It's not a certified organic product, but it is organically acceptable. It's a little bit more expensive than your typical broadleaf weed control, but all of our applicators always have a hand can of Fiesta on the truck, and it works really, really well. It'll kill a dandelion in 2 hours. As far as a non-selective post-emergent goes, there's a product called Final Sand. Works better than Roundup. Now you want to keep that out of your lawns because you don't want to kill the grass. But if you've got a need for a non-selective, and I know most of you guys do, Final Sand is a great product. Whenever you have a lawn that is stubborn or is loaded with weeds, has too many weeds, and you want to do a blanket application, a broadcast application, we don't recommend you use Fiesta because it's too expensive. We're about making money for you here. So you want to talk to your customer about using a chemical weed control. And we always want you to use a non-2,4-D product for one thing, but a chemical herbicide used appropriately with the customer's permission is something that's okay. Just because your application isn't organic on that day doesn't mean it's not ever going to be organic again. You don't ever want to lose a customer based on advocacy. You want to keep your customers happy. And if your customer says, I have too many weeds, please kill them with a chemical weed control, you say, yes, sir, and you do it. There's another new product out there that we're beginning to use called Tenacity, and we used it this year a little bit. Tenacity is a pre- and post-emergent broadleaf weed control and grassy weed control that's synthesized from the bottle brush plant. So it's certainly not a certified organic product, but again, it's a much lower risk or lower toxicity product than most of the weed controls. And we're always looking for the next big thing. And there are always companies trying to make the next big thing. When it comes to pre-emergent control, again, that Tenacity works really well as a pre-emergent. We have a liquid corn gluten product that works just like granular corn gluten, but better. So we'll build that right into your program if you want. Insect controls. There's a brand new product called Grandivo, which we use to control grubs, and people use it in the tree and shrub program too. It's a certified organic product. So in a long-winded way, I'm telling you, every issue you have, we've got an issue to fix it. So there you go. I knocked off all the weed control questions right there. Here's a question about timing. Should I wait till spring to join the network? And that's not a setup. It's actually, is fall a good time to join, or should I wait until spring? That is not me trying to throw something out there. I always say, of course, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, right? Well, you should join the BeeSafe Network in the fall. The best time to join the BeeSafe Network is prior to spring. So if you wait until April or you wait until March, you don't have any opportunity to do any marketing. When you join the BeeSafe Network in September, October, and November, it gives you an opportunity to do renewals on your customers, your existing customer base. You can introduce the BeeSafe program to them and talk about that profitability through margin, because what you're going to do is you're going to increase the price, and many of your customers will be happy to do that. It also gives you time to get set up, to build a marketing plan, to get to know us, to get to know the products, and it's always good to be early, right? If you wait until March or April, you'll be acting reactively instead of proactively. And with our growth aspirations, it's likely that many of the territories that you operate in will become protected. So keep that in mind. Okay, here's one about what type of spray equipment should you get. We always recommend a company called Greggs & Clark in upstate New York, and I think it's just greggsonclark.com. It's a company that I've just done business with for like 20 years. At Lawn Dog, I think I probably bought 50 units from them over the course of a few years. A great quality product. They will make anything from a 100-gallon spray tank up to a 500-gallon spray tank. A good unit is a 200-gallon with one pump. But you can do it up if you want to make more of an investment. It's easier operationally if you have the ability to apply two products. So if you have two individual tanks, but then your expense goes up a little bit. That's something where I'd like to talk to you specifically on what your aspirations are, how many customers you're going to want to do. But a standard 200-gallon skid sprayer from Greggs & Clark is the recommendation. Question about GIC in Louisville. We're not going this year. We had a couple of schedule conflicts. We've been the last the last 3 years, and this year we're not going, and I'm really bummed out because I always love going down there and seeing our existing dealers and meeting new companies. So we're not going to be there, and it's a drag, I know. Do we provide the labor to get the applications done? The answer is no. You provide the labor. You maintain complete control of your business. You are an individual company operating in the BeeSafe dealer network. We don't control what you do. We don't want to control what you do. We can help you, if you need advice on things, and we like to try to guide you and put together certain, marketing discounts for you, certain obviously the product. But no, we don't provide the labor. You guys do that. How do I know if my territory is still available? Well, you're going to want to talk to Richard about that. You're going to talk to Dick Conley. His contact information is right here. He is the director of dealer development, and he can probably tell you off the top of his head whether it's available or not. If he can't remember, he'll look it up and he'll tell you. Is the $14,900 an annual fee? Heck no. Heck no, baby. No. Not a franchise. It's a one-time fee to protect your territory. We do, it's a contract, so we'll write up an agreement that becomes renewable. It really is designed to protect you, because what we're doing is we're promising not to put any other applicators in that area, so that you can take total advantage of our consumer awareness campaigns and to grow your business specifically. But we would never charge you a fee on an annual basis. Absolutely not. That's a one-time fee. I think I've answered all the questions on there, guys. If I missed one, let me know. Tell me, because there's a bunch of them. But the questions that I answered are always the same. Weed control, protected territory, fee, equipment, products, and I've purposely put products off. If you want to talk about products, let's schedule a call after the fact. All right, so listen, what we'll do is we'll get you registered for that due diligence website. We'll send you you'll get an email. It comes from me. It'll be an automated email that have login information and a password. Get in there, look around, see what you think. Then the person who got you on board here, the dealer advisor who you spoke with, and we've got a couple of guys out there recruiting people, they'll get back in touch with you, and we can talk about going to the next step if you want to. Actually, a couple more questions just popped up. Soy-based nitrogen sources. So good question, Darryl. All of the fertilizers that we offer are liquid, right? So it's not going to be a granular soy product. The fertilizers are all, we've got a couple of different kinds. We have a 1300 we call Quick Green, which is a protein derived nitrogen source. We have a 702, which is amino acid. So just to be clear, we will not be offering a natural granular soy-based product. That can fit in the confines of your program, especially this time of year too, where you might want to get a little bit extra nitrogen, but liquid products that are biologically enhanced. And again, that's something, let's definitely try to circle back and talk about that in more detail. Yeah, log into the due diligence site and you'll see all of the products, and you'll be able to answer those questions for yourselves. So let's wrap it up, because I'm way long, and I appreciate you spending some time with me today. I'd love for you to join the network. I'd love to talk to you and answer some of your questions about how you can grow your business, and I hope to talk to you soon. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining me today. I'll talk to you soon.